legendary John Jones III, the state of Oakland from your perspective, because he writes a lot of great takes on Facebook, just gave a great speech out there, one of many. But what's going on with our city, really?
It's heartbreaking what's happening here. And if you ask me, really, this is a plan. There's a long-term plan for a city like Oakland. You know, Oakland is, we call it San Francisco's dirty little secret. It's actually located where San Francisco should have been located. You know, it's more accessible by land, air, and sea. When I say that, that's no disrespect to San Francisco.
He's right, though, folks.
Geographically speaking, there's room for development here in Oakland. In San Francisco, you only can build up. In Oakland, you can build out. However, Oakland being the most racially diverse city in the country, number two, understanding that a lot of developers do not want to invest in communities of color. Right? So it seems like there's an effort to displace people of color. And that can happen intentionally or unintentionally. So if I take the easy route and say unintentionally, that is by not doing things to help the people of color that's here, by not passing stronger tenant protections, by not utilizing public resources like public land and our general fund to ensure that people who've been here for decades and generations can stay here. So we're seeing this turnover. It's happening in every sector, and I think it's important for people to understand this. There's a connection between housing, law enforcement, education, and employment opportunities. This city has spent over $110 million settling police brutality lawsuits, which is more than the amount of money that was earmarked for affordable housing under Measure KK.
How did we get to this point? Because under Lionel Wilson, who's my mentor, L.U. Harris is my mentor and boss, we had a more caring society. And we still have the mechanisms in place, but from your point of view, I don't want to make it my platform. What went wrong?
I would say a number of things, and some of this is, it's an inside-outside thing, right? Some things are internal, meaning what's under the purview of the city, and then some things are external, like our economic infrastructure. So I want to start there. This recent displacement is being driven by the tech sector. There was no viable pipeline for long-term Oakland residents to gain access to these jobs. So housing is a regional issue. We're witnessing people who no longer can afford to live in San Francisco, who at one point would never even step foot in Oakland. Right. Now all of a sudden, Oakland is desirable. Number two, I truly believe city leadership won't developers.
Can I add to that for a second?
Absolutely.
You folks who used to go to the Marina District that had your racism there, now you're over here, but you can't play that in Oakland. I just had to get that out here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it's not a coincidence that these things started happening. The woman they call Barbecue Becky, for example, right. Jargo Joe. It started happening within the last 3 years, right? Because we're talking about a city that has lost 30% of the black population. Right. So under this Trump administration, which is always interesting when I hear local progressive leaders say, oh, they're against Trump, but their policies are in alignment. So like someone told me, long story short, our values, the budget is a moral document. It's a direct reflection of our values, of our morality. So if you study the budget and you see where money is going, and most importantly, when you see where money is not going, then you can see what the values are. And the value is not to preserve what made Oakland, which is the people. Let's be clear, it's the people. It's never been the leadership, it's been the people. And that's what the people need now, leadership that reflect us, that reflect our values, that reflect what makes Oakland, Oakland. And the last thing I want to say is this, anybody that's moving to Oakland, understand where you're moving into. You don't go to a place and try to make it your hometown. Right. If you value the values of your hometown, you stay where you at. But if you want to come into Oakland, do your homework. Learn about the history of systemic inequity policies and programs. And above all, know this town is the birthplace of the Black Panther Party.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. Peace.